come back on here and talk to the parents. When was the last time you spoke with your child or had a conversation with your child? When was the last time y'all went out to lunch just to see where their mind at, where their heart is, what their goals are? Do they have goals? Have a conversation with them, not so much trying to get them to do something or whatever, but see which way they think their life is going. That's for our grown children. Our teenagers and stuff, we kind of still have a little whip on them because, whatever they do, we still responsible for it. But after they 18, do we still talk to our children? Scripture tells us to train them up in the way they should go. So they'll never depart from it. As long as they're children, that's what that looks like. And they're always going to be our children until death do us part. So, the reason why I brought this up is what I learned in my profession is a lot of people are bored children. They just living life, healing and towing it through life. They don't have no goals. They don't have no dreams, no aspirations. And those bored children grow up to be bored adults. And bored adults look like infidelity, cheating, trying to find the grass greener on the other side. What the thing they're looking for is not, they can't find on the outside of them. The thing that they're looking for, they can only find on the inside. A lot of people don't want to do the work. They don't want to look on the inside and find out what needs to be done. Personal development. So they keep going out trying to find things or this new project or program. They spend money, shopaholics or whatever, trying to find this one thing that's going to make their life happier. And normally that's not something that's going to make their life happier. Normally it's just something, to distract them. Because the only way you're going to be happy is if you have something happening. Happiness isn't what you're seeking for. You're seeking for joy. Unspeakable joy. And that is something that you're only going to find on the inside of you. Joy is the thing that makes your heart smile. What is it that makes your heart smile? What is the thing that you can do and you love to do it and you do it so well and so much that you can do it whether you get paid for it or not? That's purpose. That's destiny. That's where you find joy. You find joy in doing the thing that you were created to do. It just comes easy to you. It comes supernaturally to you. You don't understand why. That's because you're operating within a gift that was put in you before the foundations of the world. You don't know how you got it. You were just born with it. So, I wanted to talk about people that are bored. A lot of people call it ADHD or whatever, but there are bored people that are not diagnosed with that or anything. There are people that just don't know what they want to do in life. They haven't the motivation, the passion, the desire to do anything in life. They get up every morning and put one leg in and one shoe on the same way every morning. I started with our children. A lot of our children are getting out here getting into trouble, going to juvenile, all kind of records and stuff, vandalism, doing things that they're not supposed to do. Not making an excuse for them, but somebody said bad attention is better than no attention at all. And if that's the way they feel, that the only way they feel they can get monetary gain is to steal it, then that's what they're doing. So if they had something of purpose, something that they were passionate about, that they could be engaged in, that they love, that makes their heart smile, they would take that energy and channel it into something that's beneficial. They would rather have or hear the compliments of people and people that say, I'm proud of you, versus a judge and a gavel. So I wanted to talk to the parents. Are you having conversations with your children? Are you trying to lead and guide their thoughts to try to stir up some passion? Find out what they're interested in. Find out what they're into. And if they're into something that's not good, kind of lead the path to try to stir them another way. To just let them sit there and falter, that's not godly. We're not just supposed to sit and let somebody fall. We're not supposed to throw up our hands and say, oh, we give up. Granted, it's free will, but at least try to say something. Let them know that you don't condone that behavior, that you don't condone them ruining their life, doing whatever it is that they're doing. Sometimes that's enough, just for somebody to hear that they love them enough to say, hey, I don't like what you're doing. I don't condone this behavior. I think you could be doing something else. And compliment them on their strengths. Sometimes people forget, their strengths. Even me. Sometimes I wear my doctorate hat to remind myself that I overcame that dissertation with the help of God. That I have a doctorate. That I earned a doctorate. I wear my hat for my purpose to remind myself. Matter of fact, I might wear it tomorrow. I don't know. But some of these children are out here in a cyclone. And they've gotten so far to where they don't even know who they are anymore. Or they've gotten so far off to where they feel like they've done so much and their parents are gonna feel so bad about them or be so judgmental towards them to where they just keep doing the same old thing over and over. So before we cast judgment, before we be judgmental toward our children and the energies or the societies that they're in, let's have a conversation. Let's talk to them and see if we can get them to at least listen. See if we can guide them in the way they should go. At least we got to do our part. We got to at least try. If we don't try, how can we say we got any say-so? Especially in judgment. Because like I say, some of it just going on and they don't know. they going on doing things to the point where they don't even recognize who they are anymore. So I just want to encourage somebody to encourage your children. It's time to put families back together, because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going to come down the pipeline. But one thing I do know is that we need God, and we also need each other. Until the next one, y'all stay blessed.